Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's August 24th, 2022, and I thought what I'd do is try again. I tried the other day to do a quick walk through the second food forest and share with you what we're seeing, but I only got a few feet and the camera died on me. So we'll try it again and see how things go. To orient you, we're on the north side of where our house is. Our house is over here. And this is the second food forest, everything on this side of the driveway. Over on this side, all the thornless blackberry plants up in that area as well. Hopefully the wind isn't too bad. So there's swales, as I've shown before, there's swale systems that go across. There's a sediment collecting canal system right over on the other side of this tree. But our productive forest area here is all along in here. This is a Bartlett Pear growing in one of the mounds on the side of the swale here. It's an older tree that had been chewed down quite a few times by the deer as they come through and mulch. A dwarf apple tree. I won't be putting in more dwarf trees. They're just the right height for the deer, but not so great for us. A honey locust right here, a thornless honey locust tree. Here we have a dwarf apple as well. Let me see if we see any lesions from stink bugs on this one. I don't see any. And this one, a gold rush apple. And here we have a red bud right in the background here that you could see. And here we have a Staghorn Sumac. Here we have a crimson maple. Here another dwarf apple right here. What is this one here? This is another gold rush apple here. And this is a pecan right here. I can't remember this apple here. This one does get scabbed from time to time, and they do get the lesions as well. These red flesh ones that seem to be the ones that the marmorated stink bugs tend to go for first. I don't see them on our green apples so far. But these are small apples. I like larger apples for all our productivity exercises. This is a crimson maple here. An oak tree right here, a cherry tree right here. Here we have a black currant in this location. So we have a Siberian pea shrub there, but it's so small it's hard to even appreciate. We have a couple in here that have gone to seed. Another cherry tree right here. Another apple. What is this apple here? This one actually tastes pretty good. Which one is this one here? See, I should have brought my glasses down here. There's an Enterprise apple. And this is a semi-dwarf tree. So it's got some apples on it as well. There's another dwarf apple here. And again, the fruit are so small on these that, and of course, we're going through a drought here. We just got some rain for the first time in a while. And another pecan there, another cherry here, and the deer just go ahead and munch on these ones. That's pond 2 right over there. And no, Jim, the ponds haven't increased in depth. One of the things that's, when you get an inch of rain, unless it's a massive downpour at one time, one of the things we want to do here is build the soil up on the property. And so with the greater the depth and quality of the soil that you have on your property, the greater the absorptive capacity for absorbing rain and therefore not allowing it to run off. So we haven't gotten any filling except for maybe the inch of rain that hit the ponds over the last week or so. Here, so this is an issue. So in amongst this rose bush here is a seaberry bush right here, a Juneberry or seaberry. So it's here, but it's completely overrun, and this is a really deep, too severe of a slope that I put in here. So this, within the next 2 years, I'll be modifying that. This serviceberry, I think this one may be dead now. It's been so dry this season. This one's just barely holding on a few leaves on this serviceberry. See the goldenrod around all these. Then we have the thorny wild blackberry bushes all engulfing around here. And with too steep of a slope along this area here where the serviceberries are, so this variety of serviceberries here, these are the ones that we're selling now. They end up doing pretty darn well, even being crowded out by the other invasive blackberry bushes. So this variety of serviceberries are doing pretty well. So this whole area here, I'm sorry that it's looking into the sun. This whole slope, I'm going to bring it back and really reduce the degrees of this slope. And it's one of the things you learn over time is, how to make things easier to manage and maintain over time. So again, this variety of serviceberry, and I can't remember if these are the Saskatoon or the Allegheny. All of our labels blew off. This is one of our persimmons here. And you can see this is the first year that this one's really putting on the fruit, but since it's such a drought, you can see how small the fruit are. It's just loaded with fruit right now. And we'll get a look at our big persimmons over here in a moment. Now we're going up next to our next swale here, and we have several different apple varieties in here, and I won't be trying to read the labels on it. So we have right over here, this is a Staghorn Sumac, a green apple right here. And these ones are pretty good, almost as good as the ones in the first food forest. Pear tree, and there are persimmons and all down in here. So here's another persimmons right here coming up. This is a honey locust. This persimmons is one that we've shown lots of videos of us harvesting the fruit off of this persimmons. Two more. All right, so an apple, I'm sorry with the camera here trying to get this. More apples in here, and again, the deer will just come up and grab all of these, the fruit off of these lower ones. We do like the larger apples, and one of the reasons that we like the larger apples so much is because they are so much easier to process. This is one of our other apple trees here. Cherry tree, they're all done now, the cherries are. Another apple tree here. And down at the base here we have a couple of pecans along the base down low, a honey locust, another apple, a pear, another apple here. Neighbors firing up their motorcycle. Another honey locust back here. It's somewhere right along in here I have a Siberian peace shrub right in here. Here's another cherry tree here, another honey locust here, apple tree here, pecan tree here. These are, getting some size now. It's really nice seeing the trees really start to develop some size over time. Another apple tree here. This one did have a bunch of apples on it. I don't know what happened to those ones. Another pecan here. Another honey locust here. Another honey locust. Another pecan here. Another honey locust. A peach tree here. Poison ivy here on this maple. So we just walked down. So far we walked through on both sides of one swale. On both sides of one swale, the first mound we came up over, then we saw all of our service berries here, which are really struggling with all the competition. Then we went down through a row of apples, and then our mixture of nut and fruit trees here. And we'll go around in here. So now we're getting to our hazelnut area, and really hard. One of the things I've noticed with the hazelnut, these ones over in this area here and right here, they aren't doing as well as the ones you'll see up above, because we have so much shade from this willow and this maple here and that maple there. So the more shade you have, the less development of the various hazelnut plants. So we have the 2 rows of the hazelnuts. I don't know how well any of this is showing up, going in and out of the darkness here. And I've got to come in and remove all the rebar from in here as well. See, they're getting the nuts ready in the area. And because of our snow load that we have, I have to use the rebar, and I use aluminum poles hooked to the rebar to help stabilize them, because these all were getting crushed each year. For the first couple of years I put them in, and now they're doing fantastic. The thing is finding the time to harvest the nuts and to process them. And again, we got bindweed issues, so this one's completely covered by bindweed right now. Yeah, so the bindweed can be a big issue in this area. And down in here. This is a Russian mulberry here, doing well. A honey locust right here. An apple tree here in amongst, and I should be saying this, but there's various bush berry trees all along in the lower areas in here. Honey locust, a red maple that I'm walking under right now, another honey locust right there. I did have a pecan there, it didn't survive, and again another dwarf apple. And since I haven't been thinning them, they just hang over as they develop their fruit here. A pear. Let's see what else. We got a red bud in here. The top died off, but it's growing, but it's inside a cage. Another red bud right there. The top died off, but it's doing better now. No, I'm sorry. That's, yes, that is actually a butternut there. Another apple tree here. Another pear tree here. Boy, some of these buggers have just died back a few times on me. So it's challenging. Another apple, another red bud, and these red buds, I'll tell you, they don't handle our winters as well. They really, and our droughts. So between those two, it's a challenge. Another apple here, another maple, and another apple. Service berry here, a peach tree here. This one suffered pretty severe deer rub this last season, last year, and so it's having a real tough time here, unfortunately. Another apple here, another apple here, another red bud here, and we won't go up into the third food forest, which is over there. This is going to take too darn long, this video. And our grapevines, I did prune them back twice this season, but I haven't kept them pruned or weeded below them at all. And the birds have been going right to town on the grapes themselves. So not too much to see with the grapevines. There are a few grapes left inside of there. Yeah, it looks like there's not too much left around here at all. And of course, this has been one dry season here. Most of the ones that I have are Concord grapes. I do have a couple of seedless varieties here, but not great. So this is the area that I have started working on this spring, the swale here. So on each side of this swale are various different trees. So right there's a pecan. That's a pecan on the other side of the swale there. A flowering pear tree here. And all throughout the area there's currants all along in this area. That's a catawba tree there. Honey locust. I can't tell you what that one is right now, unfortunately. Flowering pear here. Crabapple. I'm sorry. Flowering crabapple. Another crabapple. Honey locust. Chestnut here. Flowering crabapple. Honey locust. Honey locust. And where are our nut trees? Another crabapple, catawba, another catawba over there, honey locust here, Chinese chestnut here, flowering pear here, catawba there, crabapple, butternut, pecan, another catawba here, crab apples, and now we're getting down into the third food forest, so it's all pecans and butternuts. Mostly pecans and butternuts are down in these rows, besides the catawbas and the crab apples and the honey locusts and some chestnuts down in there. So that's about it with taking a look at our second food forest. It's been neglected terribly. You know what, I probably won't get to harvesting much of the fruit, but if I'm worried about pests, I really should harvest the fruit and get it out of reach so that we're starving out the invasive species like the marmorated stink bug. But that's it where we're at right now. There's so much to do around here, and we have our prime objectives to accomplish this season, so I'm just not spending the time here that I would like to spend and doing the modifications, but that's future seasons to come when I have the time. So hopefully maybe sometime in the next few days before all the fruit's gone on the trees in the third food forest, we'll take a look at that as well. Thanks so much for watching, folks, and have a super fantastic and safe day. Bye-bye now.